All right, welcome in. It is time for Total Bases. You're not confused. It is a Sunday, but it's also the final day of the first half, and the three of us decided, since we're not going to see you until next Friday, when the second half really kicks off, that we'd come on and do a Sunday show. So, got to make sure. Okay, yeah, we got comments going. I was going to say I don't see the little counter up there. Of course, we had to sort of set up a manual stream. So I want to make sure that this is going out to everyone. So let's go around the horn while people file in. Tokyo, Brandon, I'll go to you first. How was your Saturday?
Yeah, it was good. I won my 4% play. I backed Joe Ryan in the Twins -1. That was pretty easy. Well, I don't know if it was easy, but first and second with one out in the ninth inning got a little dicey. But and then I lost my 2% play, which was Yamamoto to get the win, and he looked just awful. But it's a long list of elite pitchers getting bombed right before the break. So we might see more of that today. I went 3-0 in my Japanese baseball, which just ended a couple hours ago. So 3-0, 3 + 1, 4, 4-1 today. So I'm all right with that. On my YouTube channel tomorrow night at this time, I'm going to do a Japanese baseball show just to see if people are interested. But I'll do it. What the heck?
Do you happen to know what your record is on the season in Japanese baseball? I know you've been killing it.
Yeah, it's really good. Asian baseball, I'm winning 69%, and I'm up almost 80 units just Asian baseball by itself.
80 units, there you go.
Japan combined, and I'm also on a 10-0 run on sides. So
nice.
Yeah.
Can't stress this enough. Listen, if you have the ability to bet Korea, to bet Asian baseball, minor leagues, though, we're always going to win more in those leagues. Mm-hmm. Like TB and I are almost always going to win more. It would be an anomaly if we didn't, right? It would be an anomaly if we didn't. The numbers are
soft.
Yeah, for sure. Like for sure. I mean, listen, beating a main market in any sport is difficult. Like we come here and for 6 months we try to beat the MLB market, and I think we do a pretty good job at that. But the margins are always going to be bigger in those more those smaller markets. And this it goes for me. I'm having a great baseball season, but a lot of that is also KBO and AAA. I went 3-0 yesterday. I gave you guys the Pirates right here on the show. That was a thriller. They got it done. Came back, Esmeralda Valdez with a grand slam to flip that one. So that was pretty awesome. And then I had 2 wins at AAA. And again, I was joking with the guys off air. Like one of them was just free money. Like it was just free money. Like that never happens in MLB. That will happen. I'm sure TB gets that in Japan sometimes. And in some of those leagues where he just sees something and it's like, there's no way that's actually the line. So, quick promo. Like I said, that's where you make the long-term investment, play those smaller leagues if you can. And then we try to make money in MLB as we go along. The home office has extended the coupon Adam30 for one more day. So you can get 30% off anything on my site. And I'm probably going to give you another client play on the show because I'd rather you buy the long-term stuff with the coupon. No sense in wasting, 30% off on a one day. You should use that on the longer term stuff. It gets you a bigger discount. So now that we've got I was giving it a second. It looked like it was taking some time to get the show out to all the different places it needs to go out to. It's time to get into it. And the feature game today is going to be our nationally televised game. Get the Peacock app up for that. That's going to be Brewers Pirates. It's going to be the early one. I believe this is at noon Eastern. Bryan Leonard, I'll let you start this off. It looked like we thought we were going to have this big sort of huge ace versus ace matchup to close out the first half of the season. And now there's only going to be one ace because Jacob Misiorowski is going to pass on pitching today, scratch from the start. So we will get Paul Skeens. It looks like the Brewers are going to go with Robert Gasser. They also probably have like any bullpen arm they want since they won't have games until Friday. So kick us off, Brewers Pirates. How do you see this one?
Yeah, before we get to that, I didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday. I did go 1-0. Unfortunately, my 4% pushed. I liked San Francisco instead of using them in the entire game because their bullpen had been used the day before. Used them in the first 5. So they pushed in the first 5. They won in the game. Still 11-1 on 4 and 5 star selections, but yeah, it did have the winning day, and that's nice. But I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get the win in 5. But hey, it happens. Didn't lose anything in that game. So, yeah, Gasser against Skeens. You mentioned Mizorowski. Not only did they scratch him from this one, they're thinking possibly they're going to go the first week of the second half and not pitch him, only because they're going to give him a chance. They're trying to limit his innings. And as we always have to take a look at, Milwaukee's a team that's looks like they're going to the playoffs. So they don't want him to, since they're using gas, they don't want him to run out of gas in the second half of the season in this one. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he misses a couple of starts here. Nothing health-wise, just being cautious, and I could definitely understand that. Coming off the doubleheader yesterday, the Pittsburgh sweeps the doubleheader. You don't see that very often. Usually gets splits out of the doubleheader. So in that regard, I'm always looking for the team that lost the doubleheader, and that would be Milwaukee. Gasser's on the mound. He's a lefty. Pittsburgh has not been particularly good against lefties this year. And they've got Skeens going. And you can look at this 2 ways. Rarely do you see Paul Skeens pitching at home with a line of basically 120. Or you could say there's a reason why Skeens is at home minus the 120, and that's because that Milwaukee is probably the better team. We know that Milwaukee's the better team. Pittsburgh's having a hell of a season, though. I'll tell you, and I like the trade that they made. But I would expect a nice bounce back here from Milwaukee. Gasser it's been pretty consistent. He's a guy that in the past we thought maybe he was a 4A type of guy, a guy that was really good in the minors and struggled in the majors, but he's not pitching bad. And you mentioned the bullpens. And when you play a doubleheader, the game before, Pittsburgh's entire bullpen, basically all the good arms were used yesterday. Milwaukee has had, the closer has not pitched in like 5 games or 5 days, and he has been awesome. Since they put him back in the closer role, he has been terrific. I like the Milwaukee bullpen better. Obviously, Skeens is better than Gasser is, but if you follow the advanced stats, Skeens has lost a little bit of zip on his pitches. The spin rate has been really down since earlier in the season. He is struggling for Paul Skeens. He's still Paul Skeens. He's still a very good pitcher, an excellent pitcher, but he doesn't seem to have the same stamina as he had in the past. And because the All-Star break is coming up, Gasser is very fresh, whereas opposed to Skeens is a little bit worn out at this point. So I kind of like Milwaukee here, and you're getting a bit, something in the about 107 range, plus 107. If I'm playing, I'm taking the dog in this one.
Tokyo, Brandon, Brewers, Pirates. I'll let you go first. I got a pretty strong opinion here as well, but I want to see how you're going to play it before I give my play out.
Yeah, making a playoff push. Nothing better than sitting your best pitcher. I hate how the Brewers handle their pitching. They did this with Henderson last year. He was having a great season, and they sat him. And I don't like how the Brewers do this. I know Brian and I disagree on this, but I don't like how they manage their team, and I don't think they're going to go far, even if they do make the playoffs. So as soon as I badmouth a team like I did last season, they're going to skyrocket and win the World Series. But anyways, I don't like how they handle their pitching personally, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, you want to win games, sit Mizorowski. Yeah, great decision. Anyways, the way I see this one, Skeens has great numbers against the Brewers batters, and I have the Pirates in better form, obviously, after sweeping them. But it's really hard to sweep a team, and the Pirates bullpen is a little bit of a concern for me. I got them ranked 24 right now. So if I were going to play this game, I would probably play Pittsburgh first 5 on the money line, because I think Skeens is a much better pitcher, and I think the Pirates are hitting a little better than the Brewers right now. So first 5 seems like a good bet to me. And then they'll probably lose it at the end is probably how I see this one going. I'm not going to bet it, though. How about you?
I'm going to bet this game. I'm going to bet the Pirates. I'm going to bet it for 4%. It's going to be a client play for me. Again, Brian, a lot of the stuff that you said, I would almost always agree with. But the final day of the first half, some stuff changes for me. And right now for me, like this feels like the Brewers. Like, I just don't think you get an effort today from the Brewers that is what you need to beat Paul Skeens, especially when Skeens comes in. Listen, Paul Skeens has been clowned on Twitter a little bit, which is like kind of unfair because he's not. I mean, to say that Paul Skeens is not having a bad season would be crazy. But like, let's be honest, everyone thought that Paul Skeens was going to come out this year and just wipe out the league, be the best pitcher on planet Earth, right? Like that is the way he was sort of hyped up coming into the season. So, I mean, and you look at the last 2 years, he ended the last 2 years with sub-2 ERA, a microscopic whip. So you look at these numbers, like Tokyo Brandon says, cover the jersey sometime. Put these numbers with anyone else. 3.58 ERA, a 1.04 whip. Go look at his StatCast page or his Savant page and look at all the red. Put that with anyone else, and you're fired up to back him at home here. But because it's Skeens, we're like, well, Skeens hasn't really been that great. Really? I mean, he hasn't been that great. Like he's still been better than 95% of the league. So to me here, I'm just trying to get in his head, knowing the kind of competitor he is, having people on Twitter be like, he's not focused because Livy Dunn's going to the white party with Michael Rubin, like stuff like this. Like, I mean, that's literally what's, you got to, Brian, you got to be chronically on Twitter like I am. Like, he's been getting clowned like for like, like just random stuff on Twitter. And now you got the Pirates. First of all, listen, vibes are high in Pittsburgh right now. As you said, they swept the doubleheader yesterday. So who's going to have the energy here for a noon start at home? Is it going to be the Pirates who just swept the doubleheaders, 49-47, desperately needs this game? Or is it going to be the Brewers who are like, nah, you know what, Mizorowski, we're good. You can sit this one out. Maybe we'll give a guy a day off. Remember, if they lose this game, they have a 6-game lead in the NL Central right now. This game is just more of a nuisance to them than anything. The fact that they have to play another game here before they get to go home for a week. I will be shocked if you get the effort that you need from the Brewers to beat Paul Skeens here. So I'll be on the Pirates. I got to be honest, can't believe that I locked this in for clients -125. I thought this was going to shoot up to like -150. The Brewers actually took money. That's crazy to me. So on the show, you're actually going to get a better number than I did. I locked this in -125 like an hour ago. You can get what? -118 right now. Pirates are going to win today. Go ahead, Brian.
I don't want to talk you off your play. I just want to throw out a couple more stats here. In run differential this year, the Milwaukee Brewers are +135. Pittsburgh is +35. The Milwaukee Brewers on the road 30-18. Pittsburgh Steelers at home 26-24. Against 500 or better teams, yeah. The Pirates are 24-30. Brewers are 35-22. Brewers are clearly the better team. I understand your thought process. Let's just say I disagree, but I hope you win. I'm not going to be on Milwaukee. I'm not going to bet Milwaukee, but I'll root for you, but I don't see it.
Context on the run differential real quick, though. Yeah, the Brewers, insane run differential, but like that, no one's disputing the fact that the Brewers are a phenomenal team having a crazy season. We're just talking about today. And if we're looking at just run differential, there's only 5 teams in Major League Baseball with a better run differential than the Pirates. And that's the Dodgers, Braves, Yankees, Cubs, and Brewers. So again, like the Pirates run differential is not bad. The Brewers have had a phenomenal first half, but I only care about today. And I think the Brewers mentally already on vacation. Pirates, Skeens need this game. You did say Steelers, so I hope the Steelers show up. I truly hope the Steelers show up.
All right. Yeah. Well, as long as they got the quarterback they have now, the Steelers are going to be held to Pittsburgh will be held to single digits.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that is my parlay leg, and that is going back to the well for clients. I hit 4% on the Pirates yesterday, and I plan to do it again today. So client play, Pirates 4%. I will likely have a second client MLB play that I'll have up after the show, but this one's at noon. We're doing a special Sunday show. We got to kick it off with a free client play. So Pirates for me, and that'll be my leg of the parlay. Listen, I mean, if Skeens chokes, Adam will eat crow. I think after yesterday, I'm up 64 units on the baseball season across all 3 leagues. I can live with it. But again, I'm just you have to. Today is so important. You got to really factor in like who's in the right headspace for the game today more than any other day. And I think the Brewers with the early start are going to be on that plane. So, yeah, we'll see how that one goes. All right, let's go back to the chat. Let's move on to a different game. Adam says, great job, you guys, yesterday. Everything came in except Atlanta. Yeah, how many times have we gone 2 for 3 on the parlay, and yet we're still up a half unit on the parlay this year. So, really good first half for us on the show with that. Let's get back in here and look for a different game. So, wow, a lot of people asking about that game. Everyone wanted to know about the Pirates, so I'm glad we started with that
Skeen
one.
sucks this year. Come on, guys. Seriously.
Yeah,
he's having a down year. He's still a great pitcher.
Jeez. If his name wasn't Skeens, look, if his name was anyone else, you'd be saying he's having a great year.
I actually can't believe like every single question in the chat was on that game. So I am glad that we started with that game. The only thing anyone else has asked about to this point is Red Sox Mets. So let's go to Red Sox Mets. Tokyo Brandon, I'll go to you on Friday. You had a nice, easy win with the Red Sox. And, if there's ever a team that's probably upset about this All-Star break coming, I think it's probably the Red Sox. It took them all this time to get going. Now they're playing their best baseball, and they're going to have to go and wait a week to play again after today. So Tokyo Brandon, Red Sox Mets to you. Do you think Red Sox can finish off the sweep here?
So we've got Tully going against Thornton, and I don't really have much data sample on Thornton. I got him ranked pretty mediocre, but I don't think the sample size is very big. I got Tully just above mediocre. And people in the comments asking me a lot of questions. I'll just answer a couple. I'm up 50 units on this whole season. So that's your question there. Asking me to win my parlay leg because I'm 0-5, but I'm plus 50 units, you guys, for my paid subscribers. So anyways, I got totally just above mediocre. Bullpen wise, though, Boston has huge advantage here. And hitting wise, they're both kind of top 10 hitting teams. Neither team's probably going to want to stress too much. I think it's really hard to sweep someone, though. I would probably go with the Mets here just for that reason. But I'd like to take the Red Sox because their superior bullpen. The Mets bullpen is playing really bad right now. But even teams with bad bullpens win a game once in a while. And I think I don't think Boston's really interested in winning this game as much as the Mets are interested in not getting swept. So just for that reason, I think I would take the Mets here. It's probably not going to be a big play for me, though.
Ryan, I'm not stepping in front of the Red Sox right now. It took them so long to get going. They can complete a road sweep. This is an interesting thing that's going to come up a couple of times today where it's like teams, if they want to, can empty the clip when it comes to relievers. You're not going to need a bullpen arm till next Friday. So I don't know. Again, vibes are important today. And I just think the Red Sox they're in it right now, finally, after all this time where they were just playing poorly. They're playing great ball. So I kind of think the Red Sox finish off this run. How do you see Red Sox Mets?
Well, start off with Zach Thornton. He's a lefty, and I always like lefties that the league hasn't seen. He's 24 years old. He came out of the 2023 draft. He was a fifth rounder. He's currently ranked as their number 12th organizational prospect, so they think highly of him. You mentioned the bullpen for the Mets. Yeah, they had to use some bullpen arms yesterday, but they were mostly the middle of the bullpen arms. Williams, although he's not having his best season, he's only pitched once out of the last 5 days. Luke Weaver's been great. He hasn't pitched in 5 days. So they got their best two relievers going. From a hitting standpoint, Bo Bichette was hurt a couple games back. He had just started to really hit for them. He struggled early on, which a lot of times, and I talked about this before the season, when players leave a team, go to another team, they always seem to struggle early in the season. He definitely did. But he's come back to hit a little bit. And they've got some guys that are hitting pretty well. Ewing's doing pretty well. Soto's ranked 4th in the last 7 days. Carson Benj is hitting well. So they've got 4 of their 8 guys that normally hit other than Bichette are all in the top 100 for the last week. From Boston's perspective, yeah, they're playing very well, no doubt about it. We've got Peyton Tolle on the season. He's ranked on Fangraphs as the number 40th pitcher in baseball, so he's had a really nice season, but he struggled a little bit as of late, 120th the last 2 weeks. The Boston bullpen has been used a little bit more, although Chapman hasn't pitched the last 2 days, so I kind of like the Mets situation there a little bit better. We're looking at a line of, looking at a line in the game of Tolle, both lefties, by the way. Tolle's about a 120 favorite, and the total is 8.5 to the under, eight to the over, 8 3/4, whatever. If I'm playing, I'm taking the dog here. It was mentioned we've been harping on teams going for the sweep. This is the most important time of being able to win and not be swept. No team wants to go into the All-Star break and have a week off knowing they've lost 3, 4, 5 games in a row. The game is more important to the Mets. I like the Mets in this game. And I'm going to use the Mets as my parlay today. They're getting plus 105 on the comeback here. I really like lefties that nobody's seen before. Obviously, Boston and the Mets are in different leagues. They probably don't know much about Thornton. And Boston's, as Marco would say, they're fat and happy right now. They're playing very well. And you just see them as they left the field yesterday. They're having a lot of fun. And they got the break coming up tomorrow. So that's the last thing I want to see is guys that are happy with the situation they're in right now, and they got the break. Whereas the Mets, as I said, the last thing you want to see, and especially in New York City, is a team on a losing streak going into the break, especially with the season that they've had. So I like the Mets in this one.
Yeah, listen, the whole thing with like avoiding a sweep here, I would not use that theory today, like just as a general theory. But with the home teams and a team like the Mets, I can buy it. With a team like, let's put it this way, with a team like the A's, like or someone like that, that's like, I think they just need to get to the break. I'm not looking for, like, I don't think like this, in theory, the last day before a few days off, when you're playing like the worst ball of the year and you're on the road, that's a little tough. But the Mets, like Brian, the point is, this game is just as big, if not bigger, for the Mets. They desperately need this thing. We said on Friday coming into the series, TB, that both of these teams, like, this was a really big series for both of these teams. The Red Sox take the first 2. So I can definitely buy the Mets sort of going into this game like, well, we got to have this one. We can't get swept. We're at home. And Brian, to your point, I do think Thornton could be tricky for this Red Sox team. Now, I like Tolle. I've got him rated a little higher. But I think Thornton could be a tricky assignment for the Red Sox. So I'm not going to really push back much on that. Tokyo, Brandon, Red Sox, Mets to you. Anything on the side or the total?
I mean, like I just said, I would go with the Mets if I had to bet it, but I probably won't because I don't really trust their bullpen. I got both pitchers pretty even. I got both lineups pretty even. So, yeah, the bullpen is the difference between the teams, but I probably won't bet it. I do have one play out in MLB today, but it's not this one.
I haven't put my plays out yet. I will do it after the show, but we're only 2 games into the show in our first Sunday show ever. And I like this. I like it when we don't agree. We think things through. You're thinking things differently. I came into this thinking the team's ending it. It's very important for them. You guys are thinking somewhat differently. So yeah, this is an educational show for me. And that's why I like doing the show every day, because I learned from both of you guys as well. Yeah.
I mean, again, that's absolutely. I just said the other day, Brian, and this is a good segue to our next game right here. I said the other day, like, I may not end up with a 4-unit winner on the Guardians if we don't have the conversation on the show that you kind of like push me over the edge on the Guardians. So yeah, absolutely. That really is, before we get into the next game, that really is the point. Like, yeah, we want to come out and give out some picks here for sure. But like, the point is, I know a lot of you guys in the chat are doing your own handicapping, and the point is just like, let's talk these games out and see if we come up with anything. So Yeah, no, that's a great point. And yeah, this is, and especially in a day like today, where you're really trying to handicap, you're probably trying to play locker room psychologist a little bit. Like it's really tough. And that's why this day historically is crazy. Like you look at the results on the final day of the first half, it can be crazy, and it probably is effort based. So here's another one. This is an interesting one. Alex Rand, thank you for the donation. All the donations go to charity that come into the WagerTalk YouTube channel. So much appreciated right there. And you got the Marlins, who were the hottest team on planet Earth for over a month. And now they come into the final weekend of the season, and they've now are facing potentially being swept at home by the Guardians. Brian, this screams Tigers to me. If you remember last year, the Tigers from like June on could not lose a game. And then they went to the final week of the regular season. They ran into the Mariners and they got swept, and it like derailed their whole season. So question to you, do your Guardians pull off the sweep in Miami? And Alex, no, for the sake of our future, I hope that's not the case. But I don't know, Guardians, Marlins to you. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, Guardians have played very well. Miami's gone up against some pretty good pitching, and they've struggled offensively. Cantillo's on the mound today, and I do like him. He's a guy that if you haven't seen him, he's tough to hit. I mean, you just watch when you watch the announcers. I always like to watch the opposing announcers in the games, and they talk about the Cleveland players, because the Cleveland, obviously they're homers and they're going to say everybody's great, but they've been pretty impressed every game from Cantillo, and I agree. I think he's a very good pitcher. Problem is, I really like Phillips too. I think Phillips is a guy who is very underrated. Miami playing at home, Cleveland. As much as I love my hometown of Cleveland, they've been down in Miami. And when you're down in Miami and you're in LA, places like that, hey, you're enjoying that weather. And even though it's hot everywhere right now in the major leagues and the country. But I get the advantage to Miami here. We're looking at Miami as low as 105 out there, and they're a slight favorite, a 110 favorite. Total 7.5 to the over, 8 to the under. I like that situation because as much as I like Cantillo, take a look at this Cleveland bullpen. Cade Smith, granted the All-Star break is tomorrow. Still, you do not want to overplay these guys in the bullpen, not only because of their health, but also because they're not used to pitching 3 days in a row or 4 out of 5 and that kind of thing. So they may be available, but they're not going to be nearly as effective. Cade Smith has been the second best reliever in baseball this season, and he's pitched 3 of the last 4 days. Hunter Gaddis has pitched 3 of the last 4 days. Holderman, who has been a terrific sign for Cleveland, he's pitched 3 of the last 4 days. Armstrong has been ineffective. He's ranked in 236 the last 14 days. Sabrowski's been terrible, 251. So they are really hurting in the bullpen in this game. From the Miami perspective, I've already talked about the Miami starter. I really like the Miami starter. In fact, if you take a look at Phillips on the season, his numbers aren't that great, but when I go out and watch him, he's got a lot of positive regression coming his way. I do like him. And from the bullpen situation, Fairbanks, the closer, hasn't pitched in 3 days. Michael Peterson, who will be the closer very soon. I really like this guy. He hasn't pitched the last 3 days. Boucher hasn't pitched the last 2 days. They're in a much better bullpen situation here. So I do like Miami in this one. It may be a play for me. In fact, this probably is going to be a play for me. And you're getting them at minus 110. Yeah, I like them over Cleveland on this one.
Tokyo, Brandon, this is where I think your sweep logic applies a little bit more. Like I said, with Brian, with the Mets at home, here the Marlins sort of needing it. They're at home. And the thing I like the most about the Marlins here is they've done the bullpen game thing quite a bit this year. They've been very good at it. And they too, as Brian said, are another team that can really they could go 3 or 4 from Phillips. Like the Guardians are going to be up against quality arms here like all day. So I don't know. Anything on the side or total for you, Marlins Guardians?
So normally I would do a promo here and say get a double play, but the double play is 3 days and there's not going to be any MLB
No,
for 3 days.
That's okay, TB. It's going to extend it. So if you
Yeah.
get it today, you'll get it on Friday and Saturday of next
Okay.
week.
So I'll let everyone know what the double play is. It's 3 days. You can pick 2 of us 3 and get 3 days for a huge discount. Actually, Japanese baseball, Korean baseball will be back on Thursday. Japanese baseball doesn't take their All-Star break until the 28th. So I will be doing Japanese and Mexican baseball between now and this whole week. Trevor Bauer just won his game in Mexico yesterday, and I had a 4% play on it. So there's that. So let me get to this game. A lot of things point to Miami, but I got one red flag. So let me tell you what I mean. Miami has the much better lineup, and they have the much better bullpen in current form right now. And it's really hard to sweep a team that's 31-19 at home, to sweep them at home. So they're an awesome home team. The thing is, Phillips has a really nice 3.28 ERA, but my expected numbers on him show that he's not quite that good. I like Cantillo a little better than I like Phillips here. I would trust Cantillo more, a lot more actually. I have him ranked 13 spots higher than Phillips. So that would be my only concern. But I think the sweep theory and just the fact that Miami is an excellent home team and they don't want to get swept going into the All-Star break, I think that's enough information to make me lean on Miami in this one. I don't know if I'll play it or not. I don't know if I can trust Phillips or not. If Phillips has a good game, this should be Miami all the way, but I don't know if he's going to have a good game or not. That's my only concern.
I'm surprised the total's as high as it is. This feels like it's going to be, if you like Cantillo here, and you look at how the Marlins pitching sets up, I think you kind of have to like an under. I'm at 7.6, and you can actually get 8 reduced juice right now. That might mean you can get it 8.5 somewhere if you want to pay a little bit extra. That I think this is going to be a low scoring game, especially if Cantillo pitches well, because I'm pretty confident that the Marlins pitching setup is going to give the Guardians some trouble here. So yeah, I would throw the under in there as a potential way you can play this game as well. And Brian, I'm kind of with you where it's like, I'm looking at the Marlins sitting there like -110, -112 right now. That is that is tempting. And that wasn't necessarily on my radar before we sort of logged in, but it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And as for the total, I totally agree. Phillips isn't a guy who's going to strike you out. That's the thing, is he's more of a pitch to contact hitter or pitcher, and Cleveland's a team that doesn't have a lot of power anyway right now. So it works out very well. I am seeing 1.8 out there, -105, which is pretty good. But as we've always talked about, the even numbers do not mean nearly as much as the odd numbers do when you're taking a look at totals. So as long as we're getting 7.5, that's a good bet. I agree with that also.
Yeah, I mean, 8 is pretty much available everywhere. There's the 8, it's an 8 across the board, and it should be 7.5 in my opinion. So I do think you're getting some total value right there. So we're going to go to a different game, but first of all, shout out Freebird for the donation, much appreciated. I want to get his question, and we'll kick this around real quick. He says, "Do we see an advantage for home teams today due to the All-Star break?" And my quick sentiment with that is, depends on what, like how the road team is coming in. Do I think the Pirates have an advantage because the Brewers don't really need this game and they're leaving town? Yes. Do I think the White Sox have an advantage because the A's just are like, get us off the baseball diamond for a second? It couldn't be going any worse. Yes. Is it universal? No. I think it's a case-by-case basis. Brian, anything for Freebird on that topic?
I agree, but I don't agree with your White Sox thoughts. Schultz has been on the mound. He's a lefty and has not pitched well all season. I really think, the Athletics have had some injuries, and obviously they're missing their first baseman, but they are facing a lefty. And if you remember back when he was young, they would set him against lefties. He's not really a great hitter against lefties. So I don't think it's going to hurt the Athletics as much in this game. And they got Ginn on the mound, and I prefer Ginn. So I like the Athletics in that game. I don't know if we're going to end up talking about it, but
yeah, we're going to talk about it right now because you brought it up and kicked it off. So we'll go to TV after you. Set us up White Sox A's and tell me why you like the A's here.
Yeah, we've got the Athletics not playing well right now, but they are a young team. So they didn't come into the season with high expectations. It's not like some other teams, the Mets who we talked about earlier and some of the other teams that have really struggled. I like the Athletics and I like Chicago, but you're getting the Athletics at plus, upwards of 114 here. And to me, the situation they're in, the White Sox aren't really playing that great. They finally made the decision to change the closer. It was the right decision. They've got their best pitcher at closer now. But if you take a look at what Chicago has done as of late, quick look at this one. They've used, from the bullpen standpoint, Grant Taylor pitched yesterday. He pitched on Thursday. So he's pitched 2 out of 3. They may not use him tonight. The rest of the bullpen, Newcomb's okay. Sir Anthony Dominguez are using now in like the 7th and the 8th. He hasn't pitched in 3 days. So the best pitcher may not be available tonight from the relievers for Chicago. And from a pitching standpoint, Schultz on the season ranks 185th in the last 14 days, 139th. Until he turns it around and shows that he's not a quad A pitcher, I don't want him. I would prefer the A's. So it's probably not going to be on my card, but it's something that I was looking at. Oh, by the way, all the games today are day games. So we've only got a short time to bet on these, which is good right now because we got the show up bright and early. But there will be no night games today. So it's all in the day card. And as for the 3-day package, if you are able to play the leagues that TB has, since the rest of us don't have it, just get us like a 6-day package from TB, right?
Yes.
That way you get all those from all those other leagues for the next few days where the Major League Baseball doesn't have anything. So a little payback there for TB being nice to me yesterday and buy his today.
Yeah, it's 6 days for the price of 3. It's called a triple play. Yeah, that would be good. I just swept 3-0 in Japanese baseball tonight. So,
and you've crushed the KBO this year. They all listen. When the bet pays the same money, it doesn't matter what you're betting on. If it wins, the currency that comes back to you is the same. So, I highly recommend if you can bet Japanese baseball, getting down on TV's Japanese baseball.
Your book does not pay you in Japanese yen if you bet Japanese games. Very true.
We need to start having Japanese football, actual football, instead of the NFL. That way we can make some money in professional football.
I think
the NFL is the tightest lines there is out there.
They do have sumo.
There you go.
I feel like I've seen you bet like Asian basketball before and make some money off that, right?
Actually, in the off season, that's my biggest winning sport is Japanese basketball. It's on DraftKings and FanDuel. It's very readily available. Limited, but very available.
I'm assuming they have a lot of foreigners, right?
Yeah, China's got a league.
They're allowed to start 2 out of 5 people being foreigners. Yes.
Are all the guards Asian?
Usually, and they have guys like Jimmer Fredette.
Oh, I love Jimmer
as forwards.
One of my favorite all-time players.
Yeah.
What maybe my favorite basketball player of all time, of course, Jimmer Fredette, a Albany Capital Region native, grew up in Glens Falls, New York. I used to live in Glens Falls, New York, and I would drive by his parents' house. They still live there.
So it's kind of guys past their prime, like Jimmer Fredette, guys like that who are playing in Asian basketball. Yeah,
love Jimmer. That.
Yep.
I got to watch him in high school a bunch. I mean, just one of the best basketball players I've ever seen touch a basketball. I
hope my comment wasn't being racist, but obviously,
no,
Asian
not at all.
Are smaller than other.
It's not racist to say that Western people are taller than Asian, and also Jeremy Lin plays as well in Asian basketball too. So, guys like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Just to come back to this game here, though, I don't not like the A's. I want to make that clear. I don't really have a huge opinion on this game. I guess what I was saying is I'm not going to be betting the White Sox, but when we're talking and again, I wanted to bring this game up, but we started talking about this game in the context of Freebird's question. Mm-hmm. Like, I want no part of the A's here because they're on a huge losing streak. This is a team with zero culture of winning. So this is a team where if you've looked in past years, when things start to snowball in the wrong direction for the A's, it doesn't typically go well. And we are in the snowball in the wrong direction portion of the season for the A's. Nick Kurtz just went down. They just lost their best player. They maybe lost one of the best players, not only on their team, but in the league, right? So you're not going to have Kurtz in the lineup here. He's hurt. Rooker is done for the year.
Season.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just like, this is not the vibes I want to back the A's, like, you know, to need to win a game. It's like -110, kind of a big game for the White Sox. So I'm not saying the A's are totally like cooked on the season. I too like JT Ginn quite a bit, but not the team I want to put my money on right now. So I will have nothing here. TB, do you have anything to bet in A's White Sox for us?
You guys in the comments are ridiculous, man. I'm the weakest link. How am I the weakest link? You got to be kidding me. Anyways, so the A's, yeah, it's really tough to back a team. I got them ranked 25th or worse in hitting and bullpen in current form. It's really hard to back a team like that. But they do have the better starter today for sure, because Noah Schultz is awful. He should not be pitching in Major League Baseball, at least not yet. He's not, either he's not ready or he doesn't have it, because I got him ranked 28 out of 30 on a curve of 30 out of all starting pitchers. So it's kind of a weak, instead of strength against strength, it's weakness against weakness. We got a weak lineup going against a weak pitcher. In that case, the lineup usually prevails. So if anything, I would bet the A's to avoid a sweep. To answer Freebird's question, since he was very nice to make a donation, I see absolutely no advantage to being at home, whether it's before the All-Star break or at the beginning of the season. Obviously, home field is an advantage for some teams, but I don't think this timing has anything to do with it. So that's my answer to that question.
All right, Brian, I'm coming back to you. You've kind of nailed this series so far, and the chat's about to riot if we don't talk Phillies Tigers. So we got to talk Phillies Tigers. That, of course, is a lot going on in here. Sean's like, I can't wait for Adam to fade Scooble today. Adam's not doing that. I don't know where Zach Wheeler's head is at right now. I mean, he clearly was upset that the Phillies didn't sort of move things around so he could go pitch in the All-Star game. Now he's got to pitch on the road. Brian, I'm going to let you kick this one off. I'm kind of puzzled here. I don't know what Zach Wheeler is thinking right now.
Zach Wheeler is thinking he deserved to be on the All-Star team regardless of the situation. And he wasn't chosen. And now people have pulled out, as they always do. And now he says, no, don't invite me. I'm not coming. Yeah, I understand why he's upset. He's pitching today, so he wouldn't be able to pitch in the game anyway. So what's the point? He'd rather spend time with his family. I fully understand that. Yeah, it's, when he should have been one of the original guys. He may have been one of the guys that would have started. It's a situation for him. He's a veteran. He's upset. He'd spent the entire offseason coming back to be able to pitch. Yeah, I fully understand it. No doubt about it. You're going to get your best effort out of him today. No doubt about it. He's going against Scooble. Scooble's getting a little bit better every time out. And if you take away that game where he gave up like 4 home runs, which is not something he normally does, he's been very good since he's come back. We're getting Scooble the lefty at home against Wheeler. Detroit is taking a little bit of money. When we started the show, they were about a 115 favorite. And now I'm seeing some 130s out there. Basically a 125, let's just say, with Detroit, with a total of 7. Fully understand the 7. I had the under in that game yesterday. I believe that was my part of the parlay. And the bullpens were very good in that game. Thank you to the bullpens, because they had scored 6 runs in like the first 6 innings or so. But the bullpens were very good. And I don't know what we're going to see out of this game. I know Wheeler's going to give it all. Scooble's a bulldog. He's going to give it all. But I guess I'd have to play it under 7 if I played anything, but I don't know if I'm going to get there. I would, my main thing I would say coming into today is, because of the unknown, I don't want to be laying a lot of juice. And there's only one game, really, the Dodgers, in which you're laying a lot of juice. They're like a 225 favorite. And but they are phenomenal after a loss. But It's
Two
the Dodgers.
losses.
And if there's any team that doesn't need to win, it's the Dodgers. Okay. So I don't want to lay a lot of juice today. I think if you were just to play every underdog on the board, you'll end up making money. Of course, I'm not going to do that, and I don't recommend anybody does, but it should be a good day for underdogs. This one, unfortunately, I've had a really good feeling on this game, on this series, but I just can't get there either way on this one.
Tokyo, Brandon, I said this a couple shows ago. I felt like Skubal, came back from that injury in a record time. And part of the reason that he kind of got bombed in that one, didn't pitch particularly well in those first couple starts was because you were pretty much watching a guy work his way back from injury, pitching against big league hitters. Fire up the Dan Hurley meme right now. The time to get us was then, right? Like, you're not like Skubal right now. I would not bet against him. So Sean, no, I will not be going against the Tigers today. If anything, I would bet the Tigers here, because now I think you're getting like Skubal back to like what he's supposed to be. 3 consecutive starts, Tokyo, Brandon, 9 strikeouts in each one. And the last 2, he's really looked like he's got his command back. So Tigers are passed for me here. How are you seeing Phillies Tigers?
Yeah, if I were a pitcher in Major League Baseball, I would be Zach Wheeler, the big middle finger to the All-Star game. I love it. They came. So picture this. You ask a pretty girl to prom, and she says, no, I'm going to go with my boyfriend. Then her boyfriend dumps her. She comes back to you. Will you go with me? Hell no. Now picture that girl is ugly, because the All-Star game is ugly, and none of these guys want to play in it. So, maybe they like to be nominated for it, but they would rather spend 4 days at home. Believe me. So yeah, big middle finger to the All-Star game. I love Zach Wheeler. He's my guy. So I agree with Brian here. I think the under 7 would be the best way to play this. I mean, you got 2 extremely elite pitchers going today. You've got one lineup that's really toiling in mediocrity, which is the Phillies. Detroit's a little bit hot, but I think Wheeler can neutralize their bats because he's got good numbers against them in his past. Everything looks like an under to me in this one. So that's how I would play it if I were to.
All right. Blue Tail, Tailfly. First of all, thank you for the donation. He says, appreciate all the early recommendations this morning for these day games. Thank y'all. Tokyo, Brandon, we need a recommendation from you on a game to close out this 3-teamer. What game are you looking at for us?
So Brian mentioned that the Dodgers are really good off of a loss. Well, they weren't good yesterday off of a loss with their best pitcher on the mound. But if they're good off 1 loss, how do you think they're going to be good off 2 losses? Pretty good, I imagine. The problem is the Dodgers are extremely unpredictable right now because they don't give a rat's behind about any of these games right now. As you could see yesterday, they put some poor guy in there and he just got clobbered, home run after home run. They left him in. This is just how that, like Brian said, they don't need these games, which is the problem. But I think today, just based on pure talent, they're bound to win this game because their pitcher is better, their lineup is better. And do you really think the Diamondbacks are going to sweep the Dodgers at home? I just don't think they will. So my leg of the parlay is going to be the Dodgers on the money line. The Diamondbacks don't care about this game, as you can see by who they're starting today. And the Dodgers probably don't care. So if you have 2 teams that don't care, give me the more talented team at home off 2 losses. That's my play for the day.
I'm not saying that this won't win, but I massively disagree with that take that the Diamondbacks don't care about this game.
Why we do this show.
This is a huge game for the Diamondbacks. This is like in relative to, I mean, here's the thing. What the Dodgers have earned the right to not care this week, right? When you are 61-35 going into the All-Star break and you have a 12.5 game lead in your division, you have earned the right to just chill going into your week off. Part of what I was saying with the Brewers and my Pirates handicap, they've earned the right to kind of chill a little bit, right? They're going to have a 6-game lead. They're going to have a 5-game lead at worst coming out of the All-Star break. Double that for the Dodgers. Dodgers could lose by 100 runs right here today. Well, it just does not matter. So to say that, Arizona, they need these games, 48 and 47. They're still scratching and clawing. I think we might see Mitch Brock called up to make the start. He's pitched.
They already have a sweep, though.
Who cares?
Not a sweep, but they have the series.
Well, why does that matter? Why does that matter? The Diamondbacks are 48 and 47.
It matters.
Their season is likely going to come down to the final week of the season. Every game matters for a team like the Diamondbacks. Brian, who do you like in this game?
I agree. Mitch Bratt is a lefty. First of all, they've had a lefty going against the Dodgers. They don't know anything about him. He was a 5th-round draft choice out of Texas. He, along with Cole Drake, were traded to Arizona last July. He's a 5th-round draft choice. He is the 21st ranked player in their minor leagues. He was 6th in Texas. So Texas doesn't have a lot of great minor leaguers, but both Drake and Bratt were 5th and 6th in Texas. Now they're 11 and 21st in Arizona, which tells you Arizona's got a lot better prospects than Texas does at this point. But he's going to come out there, and Sheehan has been a guy who you never know what you're going to get. Coming into the season, I really liked Sheehan. And there was one point where they dropped him out of the rotation. I still like him. He's just not lived up to what I expected out of him. They've got other guys that they just had a guy they used yesterday that just came off the DL or the IL, whatever. He had to pitch a little bit, but they've got guys in the minors. The Dodgers got guys in the minors they could pitch in the majors right now. And they still continue to give these guys shots, which I don't blame them. They've got so many good players in the majors. They got great hitters in the minors. But, for this situation, the Dodgers don't care. Arizona, this is another situation where Arizona takes these games a lot more serious than the Dodgers do. And you can get upwards of plus 200 for Arizona, 187s and higher. Yeah, it's either Arizona or nothing for me in this one. And, the Dodgers are good off of a loss, but half of this Dodgers team is going to the All-Star break. How many players on Arizona is going to the All-Star break? So, this game is much more important to Arizona than it is for the Dodgers.
But the stats in this game count on the back of their baseball cards. The All-Stars don't.
TB, listen, you're not wrong about that. That's the crazy thing with the Dodgers is the Dodgers could roll out of bed, sit 4 starters, not really care, and still win a game 10-5. That is what you have to understand.
That's what I'm banking on. That's what I'm banking on.
I'm not pushing back against that at all. I too like Brock, but again, even if the Dodgers were to rest 3 starters, they still have a fantastic team. I've joked about this. You could take the lineup that they have at AAA right now, and there are big league teams that would be like, no, we'll take that. You want to give us that 1 through 9? We'll swap with you.
If the Dodgers AAA team was playing in the major leagues, would they be better than the Colorado Rockies?
The lineup. They don't have pitching down there. The lineup.
They've got a few guys
who
that I really like.
Who's at AAA that's any good right now?
River
Ryan?
River Ryan is down there.
He throws 4 innings to start, 3 innings, and they baby him like I've never seen before.
Yeah, I know. He should be up on the team right now.
You get River Ryan for 3 innings every 5 days. That's the only thing. They don't really have pitching at AAA right now. It's you got Charlie Barnes down there, Tokyo Brandon. That's your guy at AAA for Oklahoma City, but their lineup's incredible.
Adam, how do you think Bratt's going to perform today then?
I think it's a big deal for him. He's pitched well at Reno. He finally got a chance the other day. If you haven't seen this guy pitch, he hops when he throws. It's very odd. He's a lefty, and he literally jumps when he throws the ball to the plate. It's going to be something to watch. Again, TB, I'm not saying that you're wrong about the outcome.
I'm not challenging you. I'm just asking you for your opinion.
No, I
don't know anything about it.
I just think you're going to get an effort. I think you're going to get an effort from the Diamondbacks for sure.
After getting smoked 2 games in a row, though, I just find it hard to believe the Dodgers are going to let them sweep them.
So is this your parlay leg?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I will
it is.
say, because I know everybody in the chat is thinking it, you're the guy that plays the big favorites. You better not lose this freaking game.
Well, if it wins and we come back on the show next week, I will expect some ring kissing.
I don't know.
I got to be honest. I can't kiss rings over a $2 favorite.
I know. I'm kidding.
Brian, I didn't ask for any of the parlay lines as we did them. So can you give me the market price for Mets, Pirates, and Dodgers right now?
Okay. The Mets right now plus 105. The Dodgers are minus 225. And Miami is minus 110.
Pirates.
Oh wait, well who had the Mets?
You.
No, I didn't have the Mets. Did I use the Mets?
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
okay,
you don't have to though. We're locking it in now. You used the Mets, but you said you might give Miami to clients. So if you want to change that, you can.
No. I thought I said I was using. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I did say Miami's going to be a client play, but I'm sorry. I'm using the Mets here with Thornton lefty. Forgot all completely about that. Tells you what happens at 6:00 in the morning. They are plus 105. Okay. And your Pittsburgh is closer to minus 120 now. They're taking a little bit. So yeah, bye 120. Sorry about
that. Everyone, are you guys all enjoying a Sunday show? Is this cool or what? You guys enjoying? Hopefully you are.
I'll let you know after we sweep.
Yeah. Like, listen, we had to come on for, close out the first half in style here. We're not going to see you guys again until Friday. Russell, real quick, did I think Pitt was going to win that game 1 in the last inning? Well, they didn't win it in the last inning. They took the lead in the 7th. And if you were like, did I feel good about maybe coming back once Esmeralda Valdez was up with the bases loaded and 1 out? Yeah, like that dude is a freak. Buy your Esmeralda Valdez stock 3 weeks ago, but like right now, he's awesome. He's awesome. Pirates haven't had a big right-handed bat like him in 20 years. Probably since McCutchen when he was in his prime. He is
still
awesome.
Small sample size.
He is awesome. I'm telling you guys right now, Esmeralda Valdez is a beast.
I think we've disagreed more on this show than any other show this whole season.
Yeah, we were fired up on a Sunday. What can you say?
That's cool.
and this one too, Randy, it's not about Skeens getting clowned on Twitter. I don't think he cares about that. I'm just saying, if you know the competitor that Paul Skeens is, he's going to be pissed that he hasn't pitched as well as he thinks he should have pitched. And I don't think he's taken this game off. Like, I think he's like going to come out and be like, I've got to throw a good game today. Because he really hasn't pitched up to his ability level.
And I will say Wheeler's the same way. If Wheeler comes out and gets blown up today, the point he was trying to make is all null and void. So you're going to get the best of Wheeler today.
I don't think there's any way Wheeler gets blown up today.
It could happen. Look at all the other guys that have been really good.
True.
Yamamoto
the other day. Sanchez got blown up.
Yeah.
Yamamoto and Sanchez were the biggest surprises, actually.
Adam, thank you for the donation. Just donating to the show. Much appreciated. Brian, did you sneak in a little free client play for the people on the Marlins there?
I did. I'm going to use Miami. I'm going to have more than one play today, but keep in mind that Miami is going to be one of my client plays.
I am going to probably mull that one over for the next hour or so, but I might join you. That makes a lot of sense. I also gave a client play out, which is the Pirates minus 125. You can get a better number than I got right now. As Brian said, it's still minus 120 a lot of places. That is a 4% client play for me. I will likely have another one up, and my coupon Adam30 for 30% off anything on my page, even if there's already a discount attached to it, is good through the end of the day today. Tokyo Brandon's like the only one that doesn't really get a couple days off with Japanese baseball back. He'll be probably betting the next few days. So that 3 days for 6 for TB is a great option. And Brian's been extremely hot on the bases as well. So check his page out. The parlay one more time is going to be Pirates on the money line, minus 120, Mets on the money line, plus 105. Dodgers on the money line, minus 225. We will be back Friday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope everyone enjoys the All-Star break, gets a break. I know I'm looking forward to not looking into the computer screen or at my phone for a few days. We'll be back Friday morning to do this the rest of the way until October, right through the World Series. So we'll see you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, which is only a day. We're usually not here on Sunday. So enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you guys Friday morning, and let's cash some tickets.